Mm. Hey, welcome back. My name is Kita. Welcome to the Resistance Book Club. And this here will be NetGalley and Tackle TBR video. So let's sit back, relax, and let's see what I have. Okay, so I know that there is for next month, for November, the NetGalley tackling the NetGalley arts, and I have so many. What I was able to get, I will talk about those, and I'll do those for next month. And I also have my own TBR that I need to tackle because, again, if anybody don't know, I keep saying it all the time. I am finishing out all the books that I have on my shelf, so that way for next year, my main focus, or mostly the focus, will be on Star Wars and everything that has to do with Star Wars and the authors that written for Star Wars. So with that being said, it's a lot, but I remember I was saying like, oh yeah, I have like 10 books on my shelf, but then next thing you know, more books ended up happening. But that's only because it was given to me, so that's okay. And again, I had to find to see if I was able to find it as an audiobook because honey, we can't really get through most of the day trying to read physical copies. But if I can't get the audio, but I do have it as a Kindle, then the idea is the less stuff that I have to read as a Kindle, the better, because I read those like in the middle of the night or, just anywhere from when everybody is going to bed. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the NetGalley. I'm just only doing a few, the ones that I know for certain that I'm going to read for next month. Everything else that I was able to get, I'm on hold for several months. So clearly, the months it will be in next year, and I'll read it then. But for right now, these are the books that I got for the NetGalley right now on audio. First one up is What's Eating Jackie O, and this here is by Patricia Park. I'll read the synopsis for every single one. Uh, doo. So it says Jackie O is done being your model minority. She's tired of perfect GPAs, PSATs, SATs, all of it. Jackie wants to become a professional chef, but her Korean American parents are Ivy League corporate workaholics who would never understand her dream. Just ask her brother Justin, who hasn't heard from them since he was sent to Rikers Island. Ooh. Jackie works at her grandparents' Midtown Manhattan deli after school and practices French cooking techniques at night when she should be studying. But the kitchen's the only place Jackie is free from all the stresses eating at her school, family, and the increasing violence targeting the Asian community. Then the most unexpected thing happens. Jackie becomes a teen contestant on her favorite cooking show, Burn Off. Soon, Jackie is thrown headfirst into a cutthroat TV world filled with showboating child actors, snarky judges, and gimmicky gotcha challenges. All Jackie wants to do is cook her way, but what is her way? In a novel that will make you laugh and cry, Jackie proves who she is both on and off the plate. This sounds pretty interesting. Okay, and then it also says that there's recipes at the back of the book. Listenership is 6 hours and 54 minutes, and it is narrated by Amy Park. This here looks pretty good. Sounds pretty good. I'm actually interested now. I didn't read the synopsis in, I just saw the cover and I thought it was cute. So I said, yeah, let me see. Because, you know, for me, even though I love like hardcore heavy hitters, of course I need like a few romance in between and some like cozy stuff in between. This year seems pretty decent. I'm actually interested. So that will be the book I'll be reading for next month in November. Can't wait. All right, next one. Child, this been long overdue, honey. Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. Can you believe it? Trust me, I had it. It was sitting there. I think I was just able to get it. It wasn't like a request. I think I was just able to get it. And but yeah. So for anybody that don't know, let's read the synopsis. There's no such thing as magic in the broken city of La Casa, especially for 16-year-old Coffee, who, indentured to the notorious Night Zoo, knows the fearsome creatures in her care and paying off her family's debts to secure their eventual freedom can be her only focus. But the night those she loves are gravely threatened by the zoo's cruel master, Coffee unleashes a power she doesn't fully understand, upending her life completely. As the second son of a decorated hero, Ekon is all but destined to become a son of the six, an elite warrior, and uphold a family legacy. But on the night of his final rite of passage, Ekon encounters not only the Shatani, a vicious monster that has plagued the city for nearly a century and stalks his nightmares, but Coffee, who seems to have the power to ward off the beast. Coffee's power ultimately saves Ekon, but his choice to let her flee dooms his hopes of becoming a warrior. Desperate to redeem himself, Ekon vows to hunt the Shatani and end its reign of terror, but he can't do it alone. Coffee and Econ form a tentative alliance and together enter the greater jungle, a world steeped in wild, frightening magic and untold dangers. The hunt begins, but it quickly becomes unclear whether they are hunters or the hunted. Listenership for this, that was long. Listenership for this is 15 hours and 42 minutes, and it is narrated by Kaylor Lee, or Keeler, let's just say Keeler Lee, Tova Ott, and Ronald Pete. So it's three narrators for this one. Okay, so it's a multiple POVs. This sounds pretty good. I believe I haven't heard any negative things about this book. The only thing is that I never heard anybody talk about the whole entire trilogy. So I'm very interested in what it has to offer. That was a lot being said in that synopsis. So we'll have to see. I do have all three of them ready to go. So we'll see how that goes. If I'm not able to get through all three of them, I mean, clearly, most likely, the goal is to get through book one. But I'm gonna try to see if I can finish the whole trilogy before the year is out because we still have December, to get through. But yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, I can't wait. Next one we have is the Rediscovery of America, Native Peoples and the Unmaking of U.S. history, the Henry Rowe Cloud series on American Indians and modernity. I believe that's how you pronounce it. All right, so this one clearly is a nonfiction, more of a history book. So, the most enduring feature of U.S. history is the presence of Native Americans, yet, most histories focus on Europeans and their descendants. This long practice of ignoring indigenous history is changing, however, with a new generation of scholars insists that any full American history address the struggle, survival, and resurgence of American Indian nations. Indigenous history is essential to understanding the evolution of modern America. Ned Black Blackhawk interweaves 5 centuries of native and non-native histories, from Spanish colonial exploration to the rise of Native American self determination in the late 20th century. In this transformative synthesis, he shows that European colonization in the 1600s was never a predetermined success. Native nations helped shape England's crisis of empire. The first shots of the American Revolution were prompted by Indian affairs in the interior. California Indians targeted by federally funded militias were among the first casualties of the Civil War. The Union victory forever recalibrated Native communities across the West, and 20th century reservation activists refashioned American law and policy. Black Hawk's retelling of U.S. history acknowledges the enduring power, agency, and survival of indigenous peoples, yielding a truer account of the United States and revealing anew the very meanings of America. Listenership is 17 hours and 18 minutes, and it is narrated by Jason Grassel. Interested. Very interested. When I first got it, I was already interested because I want to know more. Who doesn't? You should. It's a part of history, it's a part of our lives. We should be reading more about it. Okay? It's just they're not in school. Yeah, because we're always being made into an obituary or nothing at all. So yeah, I'm very much interested in reading this. 15 hours. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Next one is Fledgling, and this here is The Keeper's Records of Revolution, Book One. I believe they're trying to say there will be more. The author is S.K. Ali, and the synopsis reads: Would you trade love for peace? Reza of Upper Earth has only lived a life of privilege and acquiescence. Ever dutiful, she accepts her father's arrangement of her marriage to Lean, crown prince of the corrupt, volatile lands of Lower Earth. Though Lean is a stranger, Reza, I think that's how you pronounce it. Reza knows the wedding will unite their vastly different worlds in a pact of peace and a fusion of Upper Earth technology will usher in the final age of enlightenment, ending war between humans forever. Or is justice more urgent? Newly released from imprisonment, Nada of Lower Earth has found her own calling, disrupting the royal wedding. Convinced her cousin Leon's alliance with Upper Earth will launch an invasive, terrifying form of tyranny, Nada's set out undercover to light the spark of revolution. When Razor goes missing a week before the wedding, all eyes turn to the rebels, including Nada's twin brother, a fugitive on the run. In Knife and Razor's meeting, uh, the long simmering animosity between their worlds slowly burns away into something unexpected. But the crown prince wants his bride and future back, and he will go to the ends of the earth to reclaim them. All right, listenership is 13 hours and 46 minutes, and this here is a full cast of Susie Rye or Susie Ray, could be Susie Rye, Safia, Ingar, Vikas, Adam, James Fahey, Kate Simses. Interesting. This, like, the cover just looks stunning. I saw it and I was like, I want to read it. It looks really stunning, beautiful. Now reading the synopsis, I'm like, and of course it's a love story in here, okay? Because it's fantasy. Don't kill me, okay? Please, with this romantasy type of thing. Make sure it's a slow burn. I think they would probably treat this as a slow burn. I don't think they would jump into it like that. So I'm intrigued. This seems pretty interesting. I can't wait. Last one that I have for the NetGalley. This one here is Louder Than Words. Author is Ashley Woodfolk. and Lexi Underwood. Um, Synopsis reads: When Jordan Jones transferred to Edgewood High, it's her opportunity to forget everything that happened at her old school, to forget what she and her friends did, to forget who she used to be. That was a different person. This is a fresh start. Now she's someone new, someone better. Except it's the very first day of school, and somehow everyone already seems to know who she is. But Jordan soon finds a group of friends, and she even starts talking to Isaiah, a soccer star who shares a love of art. Life is good. That's until an anonymous podcast called Tomcat T begins revealing humiliating secrets about Edgewood students, ruining their reputation and, in some cases, their future. Jordan and her friends know they have to do something, and this is Jordan's chance to prove to herself that she's changed. Jordan's plan to take down the podcast throws her into the spotlight, and as the momentum builds, so do the risks, because Jordan has a secret of her own, one that can ruin everything, and that a mysterious harasser online is threatening to expose. With riveting pose, the New York Times bestselling author Ashley Woolfolk and acclaimed actress Lexi Underwood balance an insightful depiction of the power of art as protest with asking some of the biggest questions facing teenagers today. In an era where mistakes can be picked over endlessly online, who is worthy of forgiveness? Can someone ever really change? Listenership for this is 7 hours and 10 minutes, and narrating is Lexi Underwood, Mark Tereski, and Mila Lee. This seems pretty interesting. I'm actually interested in that also. I'm seems pretty decent. Clearly all of them is YA, if you haven't noticed, except for the Native American one, which is fine with me. I'm okay with it. I love YA. You know, and I love adults, so it never really bothered me too much about whichever way it goes. So other than that, yeah, a lot of them words I'm interested in that. I'm interested in seeing how the podcast, the interaction between podcasters and the people or the students have this how would you say, like a back and forth or banter or protest maybe, in that sense, that please stop talking about, or stop releasing information, blah blah blah. But yeah, this will be interesting. So far that is it for the NetGalley. And then next I have the physical TBR that is on my shelf. I'm gonna move this over and we're gonna get started, honey. We're gonna get started. So the ones that I've already was able to get through, I'll just show it and talk about it a little bit, but I'll do a whole nother, it will be in a wrap up video for that. All right, so I have, let me move it over here. I have Telephone, Percival Everett, and I have Dr. No, Percival Everett. So I was able to get Dr. No already. Telephone, I'll be able to get next month. So that will be great. I got this because my dad and his lady, they were able to give this to me. So this here were gifts. Um, for Telephone, this here is Zach Wells. Yeah, Zach Wells. What is it? Laconic geologist slash paleobiologist, has the trappings of a comfortable life, yet is not contented. He's expert in the geological, these words, honey, geological history of a cave in the Grand Canyon, but less so where his wife and daughter are concerned. And when his daughter develops unusual vision problems and has a seizure, the world of this family of three crumbles. Powerless in the face of his daughter's slow deterioration, Wells finds a note asking for help tucked into a jacket he's ordered online and sets off on a quixotic rescue mission. In Telephone, a deeply affecting novel of loss, grief, and renewal, Percival Everett outdoes even himself. So I'm excited. Like, I can't wait. I really can't. That sounds so good. And then for Dr. No, the protagonist of Percival Everett's puckish new novel is a brilliant professor of mathematics who goes by Walla Katu. Walla, he explains, means nothing in Tagalog, and Katu is Swahili for nothing. He is an expert on nothing. That is to say, he is an expert, and his area of study is nothing. This makes him the perfect partner for the aspiring villain John Sill, who wants to break into Fort Knox to steal, well, not gold bars, but a shoebox containing nothing. Once he controls nothing, he'll proceed with a dastardly plan to turn a Massachusetts town into nothing. With the help of the brainy and brainwashed astrophysics physicist turned henchwoman Egan Vector, our professor tries to foil the villain while remaining in his employ. In the process, Walakatu learns that Sill's desire to become a literal Bond villain originated in some real all American villainy. As Sill says, Professor, think of it this way: this country has never given anything to us and it never will. We have given everything to it. I think it's time we gave nothing back. Dr. No is a caper with teeth, a wildly mischievous novel from one of our most inventive and provocative writers. Listen, what? What is this? I'm interested now. Like, what? And it's not even that long, so hopefully it's really gripping. Oh my God. Know nothing. See nothing. Hear nothing. What is going on? Okay, we're good. We're good. It's hilarious. Next one I have is Honey by Isabel Banta. I've already read this. I actually listened to this yesterday. It took me no time at all. It is literally following, I keep forgetting this girl name, Amber. It starts in 1997 in the early 2000s. She is an aspiring singer. You are following her on this journey to become famous as a singer. She ends up being picked to be in this group, a girl group, kind of like think of Simon Cowell putting together the Fifth Harmony. And why I keep blinking on that other group name, the British girl group, which I actually like more, to be honest. Yeah, just think of that, putting all of them together and then just going through the ups and downs of fame, all of that. You will get my review on this during the when I do a whole last wrap up video for the year. So already read. Thank God. That's one down. All right, next one I have is Transcendent Kingdom by Ya Jiazi. I actually have this on my Libby right now, so I will be reading this next month. Um, okay, so do I have that? I know I have Homegoing. Oh shoot, I didn't even put it there. Okay, so this here is a follow up. It's saying a stunning follow up to her acclaimed Homegoing is a novel about a Ghanaian family in a contemporary South, at once a profound story about race in America and an astonishingly intimate portrait of a young woman reckoning spiritually and intellectually with a legacy of unimaginable loss. Gifty is a 6 year PhD candidate in neuroscience at the Stanford University School of Medicine, studying reward seeking behavior in mice in the neural circuits of depression and addiction. Her brother, Nana, was a gifted high school athlete who died of a heroin overdose after an ankle injury left him hooked on Oxycontin. Her suicidal mother is living in her bed. Gifty is determined to discover the scientific basis for the suffering she sees all around her. But even as she turns to the hard sciences to unlock the mystery of her family's losses, she finds herself hungering for her childhood faith and grappling with the evangelical church in which she was raised, whose promise of salvation remains as tantalizing as it is elusive. That's what this is about. Now, I will talk about homegoing next, later on in the video, but just know I have this already on my Libby ready to go. Next one I have is Someday Maybe. All right, let's see what this one is. Some oh, Someday Maybe is by Onyi Nawab Benelli. I hope I pronounced that right. Um, Here are three things you should know about my husband. One, he was a great love of my life despite his penchant for going incommunicado. Two, he was, as far as I and everyone else could tell, perfectly happy, which is significant because three, on New Year's Eve, he killed himself. And here is one thing you should know about me. One, I found him. Bonus fact, no, I am not okay. That is hilarious. Oh my God. So, Someday Maybe is a stunning and witty debut novel about a young woman's emotional journey through unimaginable loss, pulled along by her tight knit Nigerian family, a posse of new friends, and the love and laughter she shared with her husband. Kind of reminds me of there was a book I read, um, The Niger Wife. Almost has the same feel of it. Not like the same premise, but the same feel of it. But yeah, this is interesting. I think I'm gonna love this one. We'll see. We'll see. I will check this one out. This one I have on my Libby ready to go. Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. I believe a lot of people should know about this book. Montgomery, Alabama, 1973. Fresh out of nursing school, Sybil Townsend intends to make a difference, especially in her African American community at the Montgomery Family Planning Clinic. She hopes to help women shape their destinies to make their own choices for their lives and bodies. But when her first week on the job takes her along a dusty country road to a worn down one room cabin, Sybil is shocked to learn that her new patients, Erica and India, are children, just 11 and 13 years old. Neither of the Williams sisters has even kissed the boy, but they are poor and black, and for those handling the family's welfare benefits, that's reason enough to have the girls on birth control. As Sybil grapples with her role, she takes India, Erica, and their family into her heart until one day she arrives at their door to learn the unthinkable has happened and nothing will ever be the same for any of them. Decades later, with her daughter grown and a long career in her wake, Dr. Sybil Townsend is ready to retire to find her peace and to leave the past behind. But there are people in stories that refuse to be forgotten, that must not be forgotten, because history repeats what we don't remember. Mm, come through. Inspired by true events and brimming with hope. Okay, Take My Hand is a stirring exploration of accountability and redemption. Sounds like I've heard about this. Yeah, okay. I have to read. Yeah, I can't wait. So I actually have this on my Libby right now. Definitely ready to go. That that sounds good. Next one I have Anita de Monte Laughs Last by Xochitl. I hope I pronounced that right. Xochitl Gonzalez. This one here, 1985. Anita de Monte, a rising star in the art world, is found dead in New York City. Her tragic death is the talk of the town until it isn't. By 1998, Anita's name has been all but forgotten, and certainly by the time Raquel, a third year art history student, is preparing her final thesis. On College Hill, surrounded by privileged students whose futures are already paid for them. Raquel feels like an outsider. Students of color, like her, are the minority there, and the pressures to work twice as hard for the same opportunities is no secret. But when Raquel becomes romantically involved with a well connected older art student, she finds herself unexpectedly rising up the social ranks. As she attempts to straddle both worlds, she stumbles upon Anita's story, raising questions about the dynamics of her own relationship, which eerily mirrors that of the forgotten artist. Moving back and forth through time and told from the different perspectives of both women, Anita de Monte Laughs Last is a propulsive, witty examination of power, love, and art, daring to ask who gets to be remembered and who is left behind in the rareful world of the elite. This sounds interesting too. I would, yeah. If it has a great parallel story and then we have a full circle moment, you would have me. Like it needs to come together. Give me a great bow, tie it up with a nice bow on the top, and we're good. So I'm rooting for this one. I hope it is good. All right, next. It's long overdue, honey. It's long overdue. We're long overdue. Viola Davis, Finding Me. I am definitely gonna read this. I definitely gotta read this. Yeah. Um, I can't wait. I mean, we shouldn't really know mostly about her life, but I can't wait. I don't need to read the synopsis. Everybody should know. Okay? Facts. Facts. Get with it. Moving on. All right. So these next two I already read. I'm just only going to show it to you. Onyeka in the Academy of the Sun and Amari and the Night Brothers. This one here is by Tola Okogwu, and this one here is by BB Austin. Both great. Can't wait to talk about it. You will see that in the wrap up video. Next, I have is a another memoir, but kind of like not really a memoir, but it is nonfiction. Tabitha Brown, Feeding the Soul. This here, before Tabitha Brown was one of the most beloved personalities in the world, sharing her delicious vegan home cooking and compassionate wisdom with millions of followers. She was an inspiring actress who, who in 2016 began struggling with undiagnosed chronic autoimmune pain. Her condition made her believe she wouldn't live to see 40 until she started listening to what her soul and her body truly needed. Now, in this life changing book, Tabitha shares the wisdom she gained from her own journey, rooted in non judgmental kindness and love. Tabitha grounds her lessons in stories about her own life, career, and family in this down to earth book. So, yeah, can't wait. I did, I was thankfully, I was able to find this. So, yeah, can't wait to listen to it in her own words for sure. Next, Purple Hibiscus. This is long overdue too. You know, some of these I had these from last year, uh, and I just wasn't able to get through it, and it was really. I remember this one was for my birthday. I believe, yeah, this one was for my birthday, and I think that was it because it was a few others that were for my birthday. Yeah. So this here is by Chimama Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I hope I pronounced that first name right. All right. 15-year-old Kambili and her older brother Jaja led a privileged life. They live in a beautiful house in the city of Enugu, Nigeria, and they attend an exclusive missionary school. But their home life is anything but harmonious. Although their religious father is a respected businessman, at home he has impossible expectations of his children and wife. When Kambili's loving and outspoken aunt persuades her brother that the children should visit her, Kambili and Jaja take their first trip away from home. Once inside their auntie Ephiop's flat in the smallest city of Nasuka, they discover a whole new world. And when they return home, change their newfound freedom, nothing can be the same as before. Tension within the family escalates, and Kambili must find the strength to keep her loved ones together even after her mother commits a desperate act. That sounds that sounds good. I can't wait to read those. Most of these I'm like, I'm dying to read. Like I cannot wait to read it. All right, so next, which I'll just show the two. Black Girl Must Die Exhausted, Black Girls Must Be Magic. Don't worry, I'll get the third one. I don't have the third physical copy. I just ended up getting the first two because I believe at the time the third one didn't come out yet. But that's okay. These two are by Jane Allen, and I believe this is her first debut of her own trilogy. And so I am going to read what this one is because since this here is the sequel, we don't need to read that one. Tabitha Walker is a black woman with a plan to have it all at 33. The checklist for the life of her dreams is well underway. Education, check. Good job, check. Down payment for a house, check. Dating, marriage, material, check, and check. With a coveted position as a local news reporter, a paper perfect boyfriend, and even a stand-in Saturday morning appointment with a reliable hairstylist, everything seems to be falling into place. Then Tabby receives an unexpected diagnosis that brings her picture perfect life crashing down, jeopardizing the dreams she took for granted, having children. Suddenly, she is faced with an impossible choice between her career, her dream home, and a family of her own. With the help of her best friends, the irreverent and headstrong Layla and Alexis, the mom jeans wearing former sexy Lexi, and the generational wisdom of her grandmother and her firebrand friend, Miss Gretchen, Tabby explores the reaches of modern medicine and tests the limits of her relationships, hoping to salvage the future she always dreamed of. But the fight is all consuming, demanding a steep price that forces a reckoning for nearly everyone in her life. As Tabby soon learns, her grandmother's age-old adage might still be true. Black girls must die exhausted. Um, I've heard mixed reviews about this, so I already have bought it already. So at the time, but I heard very much mixed reviews, and I believe that's how it goes. You follow Tabitha, and then the next one you follows one of the girls, her friend, and then I think like the third one you follow another one, but clearly it's still Tabitha's story. I don't know how that much is true, but we'll see when the time comes. Never know. I won't know until I get there. Next one, Real Love by Rachel Lindsay. We all know her. She was the first Black uh, bachelorette. Um, Reading the synopsis because I remember reading it and I was like, oh, it's sort of like with at the time when she was married because right now she's divorced. Maya Johnson lives her life according to the plan to become the youngest ever female director of her company, marry her college sweetheart, and build a fabulous life in Miami. Seeing as she's close to checking every last one of those items off her list, she doesn't feel the need to go on the nationally beloved reality dating show Real Love. So when she's offered a chance, she turns it down and tells the producers that her best friend Delilah should take part instead. But as she watches Delilah becomes the lead, fall in love, and change her life, Maya begins to wonder if she's as happy as she thought. She doesn't have much work-life balance. Her relationship isn't quite where she thinks it should be, and very little in her life is sparking joy. When Maya's free-spirited whirlwind of a little sister Ella blows into town for a surprise visit, Maya finds herself newly intrigued by Ella's unrooted existence, and she's equally intrigued by Ella's gorgeous friend and fellow world traveler Kai. At a crossroads with both her professional and personal happiness, Maya will have to decide which path to choose, the plan she's worked so hard for, or something new entirely. So it's not really like all about this show, the game show, or however, to fall in love. Seemed like she just seeing it from a background, but also going through her own life, and I guess trying to see if like what's like if her life is if she's happy with her life or the path that she's going in, which is interesting. But yeah, funny thing is there is no audio anywhere except for Audible, so I will probably have to just get it as a audio, get it on Audible. So we'll see. Um, Next one is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. Yes. Um, Actually still waiting for this, to be honest. I don't have it, but I don't even have I couldn't find this anywhere. All of the rest of them I was able to get now, but this one here I am still waiting. And I believe it's months. Oh my god. But anyway, the Vignes sisters will always be identical. But after growing up together in a small southern black community and running away at age 16, it's not just the shape of their daily lives that is different as adults, it's everything, including their racial identities. Many years later, one sister lives with her black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. Across the country, the other secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. Still, although separated by so many miles and just as many lives, the fates of the twins remain intertwined. What will happen when their own daughter's storylines intersect, weaving together multiple strands and generations? From the deep south to California, from the 1950s to the 1990s, The Vanishing Half is at once a riveting emotional family story and a brilliant exploration of race, gender, and identity, and the lasting influence of the past as it shapes a person's desires and expectations. That is a lot. That's a handful. I'm so here for it. And I believe during the Mystic Readathon, I believe this here is Kiana's favorite book. So I definitely can't wait to read it and see if it's gonna be one of my faves too. So it does sound really good though. I like these types of books. Oh God. Okay. Now, apparently I am missing two more books. I'm not gonna talk about it, but I'm just gonna show the pictures. I do have Queenie. I'm surprised I didn't take that one out. And I have Homegoing. So I actually have two of Giazzi books. So I do have Homegoing and I have Queenie that I need to read. So those are the other two. If you see right here, I just have to read those and then that's it. Oh my God. Honey, we're done. This here was almost an hour. But just so you know, let me. All right. So just so you know, these two already done. So we've tackled that. And honey is already done. Okay. So those are the only three out of this stack here. I'm just going to try and show. So we have, I think this here set is so gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. That look good. That look good. Don't it? Honey, that looks good. All right. You cannot beat. Look at that. Ooh, that looks good. Blackity black, honey. Blackity black. And then we got these. Okay. So that is the stack that I need to tackle. We're going to do it. Will I be able to read all of that in 1 month? Maybe not. But they will be done before 2025 hit. You understand? Because we're going to get through these books. I promise you, get through this. Just give me like a prayer emoji, give me some strength, something to like get me through. Because, honey, if I can get through 30 books during that whole Mystic Readathon, 30 plus books through a Mystic Readathon, I think I can get through these. Okay. And the NetGalley. Because remember, I still have the NetGalley. So that's why I'm like, if I don't get through this whole stack, definitely will transfer over into December. But the goal is finish this. Finish it. We're done. Okay. And that's it for this video. So let me know down in the comment section if you have read any of these books, and or anything look interesting to you that you wanted to read. And yeah, that is it. I'll see you in the next one. This is the way. Peace.